A long time ago, the fourth king of Amuku bore twin boys who were always at loggerheads with each other. After their father's untimely demise, the twin brothers found themselves locked in a bitter struggle for dominance, fueled by their desire to prove themselves worthy heirs to the throne. As their rivalry escalated, the once harmonious kingdom of Amuku was plunged into chaos and bloodshed, with neither brother willing to yield. In the end, they separated from each other and swore never to have anything to do with each other's kingdom. The kingdom was divided into two, Amante and Imuse. It became an abomination to have any form of interaction, alliance, or matrimonial unions between the two estranged kingdoms. Akugo, the princess of Amate, was known for her beauty and curiosity. Often disguised in common clothes, she explored the kingdom she called home. One afternoon, she found herself at the river bank, enjoying the tranquility of the water. Meanwhile, Chima, the seventh son of the king of Imose, also sought refuge from the burdens of royal life by the river. Spotting Akugo, he approached cautiously, aware of the tension between their kingdoms. "Hey," he said. Akugo moved away. "I'm not a monster," he continued. Keeping a distance, she said, "I know who you are." He laughed as she avoided close distance. "Were you told emotions carried a disease?" She smiled and he introduced himself. That day, they both lost track of time talking about their kingdoms and each other. The next day they met again. Chima read poetry to her and she loved to listen to them as she swam. Akugo brought the Amantean delicacies to Chima, who loved them, and they both joked about how different their people were despite being from one ancestor. For many months, they secretly met each other. Akugo was very pissed off when he showed up one late afternoon. He tried to explain the reason for the delay, but she was very angry and wouldn't let it slide. Chima, finding her angry face super cute, kissed her lips and Akugo lost herself in his tall frame. One afternoon, as they played around, splashing water on each other, two soldiers from Amante came and saw them. They had been searching for Akugo. They attacked Chima, and during the struggle, he was accidentally stabbed. Akugo cried and tried to save him by getting him treatment, but the soldiers, knowing what would happen if anyone saw them, carried Akugo away and left him there. After a day had passed without sight of Chima, the emotions launched a launch for him as their king was consumed with worry. Tragically, they discovered the lifeless body beside the river, covered in mud and dried blood. Overwhelmed with grief, the king demanded justice for his son's untimely demise. The town seer was summoned. He observed Chima's body and spoke to the gods. The seer returned to the king with a troubling revelation. "Your son was murdered for love. The Amantes did this." Enraged by this revelation, the king unleashed a retaliatory assault on the Amantes. Properties were set ablaze, children and women were poisoned, men were slaughtered like lambs to the slaughter, and blood flowed like a river. There was agony in the land. The Imonsian seer approached the king once more, conveying a dire warning this time. He said, "The land bleeds. You must halt your assaults on Amante." Despite the seer's counsel, the king remained resolute in his decision, pressing forward with the battle, while the Amantes also retaliated in kind. Mysteriously, as the war continued, every male child in both kingdoms began to get sick and die. The news spread across both kingdoms and they all had to go in search of a solution. For the first time in many decades, the Amantes and Emotions faced a common crisis as their sons lay paralyzed and near death. Spiritual seers from both sides convened and concluded balance must be restored through a child destined for this purpose. Turning to Akugo, they hoped she was with child, but she wasn't. This troubled the seers, for all signs pointed to the need for a new child carrying the destiny of balance and the bloodline of Chima. One of the seers, who was devoted to the river, called on them one day and said, the river is the strength of their bond." Then a new ritual was arranged. The Eke, the python of the river, was summoned and implored to bring a part of Chima back. At midnight, Akugo was dressed and taken to the river, where she saw the Eke, who had transmogrified to Chima. She wept bitterly when she saw him. His smooth skin glistened under the moonlight, and his smile was radiant. He stayed in the water and waved for her to come. She took off her clothes and joined him. But this Chima didn't speak to her. He felt so chill, and he reminded her so much that he was gone. They consummated their union in the water, and he went away. Akugo became pregnant and all waited for the child, as many males were still dying and both kingdoms were suffering. As dawn broke on the day of the child's birth, a miraculous transformation unfolded. With the arrival of Mudo, every afflicted male child was suddenly healed. Their paralysis lifted as if by divine intervention. Though bearing a striking resemblance to Chima, Mudo possessed the gentle gaze of his mother, a testament to the harmony of his dual heritage. He grew under the watchful eyes of both kingdoms, embodying the long-awaited promise of reconciliation. With wisdom beyond his years, Mudo ascended the throne, his vision clear and his heart steadfast in his pursuit of unity. Mudo fulfilled his destiny, forever etching his name in the annals of history as the king who restored peace and unity to a land torn asunder by strife.